Welcome back. I'm Calvin Statue Fanatic here with another review, and today we're going to take a look at a really cool piece from Iron Studios. This is a Batman and Robin from Batman Returns from 1986, Frank Miller. How about that? Yes, and this is probably, in my opinion, one of the coolest translations from a comic book image to a statue that I have ever seen. And what's really cool about this particular statue is that this Robin is a female. This is Carrie Kelly from that particular story, again, from more than 30 years ago. And this Iron Studio piece right here, you can see the box is really cool artwork here of the dynamic duo over the skyline of Gotham City there. And I think it's really, really cool. And that is the box. And I will talk a little bit about unboxing this guy too, because I didn't do it on camera. And maybe I should have, because I don't typically like doing unboxings on cameras. A lot of people like that, I know, but I just don't like doing it. I don't know why. But unboxing this guy was a pain in the butt. So here's the statue right here. When I say pain in the butt, it just didn't come with any instructions, and I was kind of nervous about doing it. It came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, I think it is. And so what you got in the box was the two bodies right here. You got a head of Batman and his cape, and these two metal poles that came, anyway, these two metal rods that came in the case as well, and in the box. And then you had the skyline right here that serves as the base. Now, putting it together, there were no instructions on which way to put anything. So if you guys are watching this and you see that I have messed this up, please don't just roast me. Tell me that it's wrong and I'll do it right. So anyway, yeah, basically leave a comment. Well, otherwise, that is how it goes. I love the statue. I think this is really, really cool piece, and we'll talk a little bit about the sculpt right now. So as far as the sculpt is concerned, I think they nailed it, man. If you've seen the images from the comics and everything, this is just like, it walked off the pages of the comics. Fantastic job when it comes to sculpting this piece. Batman and Robin carrying this freaking amazing dynamic pose, their capes flowing in the wind as they leap literally over the skyline of Gotham City. Pretty awesome pose there, guys. Turn it around here so you can get a really good look at what I'm talking about. It's a really well executed piece. Very happy with it. And also, when it comes to the design of it, I like that too. You know, the way that they use these metal rods to suspend them, and those rods fit so well into the skyline with the angles that you really don't even notice that they're there, which is also a really cool and nice touch. There is something about them that I'll talk about in a minute that I wasn't happy about, but overall, very, very nice piece. You see very nice sculpting in the capes, very nice sculpting in Carrie's hair, the costumes, the creasing, the muscle sculpting, the wrinkles in the boots there, all look really fantastic. Just give you guys another once around there. There's this bat symbol here on his chest is also sculpted and raised off of his chest. Really cool glasses that Carrie has on, but they don't come off. They came that way. There's no part of her body that comes apart except the slingshot that she has right there. That is a separate piece with a little notch on her belt where you can put it. That was the only other separate piece for her. Batman, of course, had the head and the cape, which came separately. Now, when it comes to the paint application on this, man, they did a really fantastic job. Can't find any flaws, guys, on this at all. If you see something in the photos or in the video, please point it out, because I don't see it. Man, where her boots meet the skin and her tights, the green part, there's none of that touching her flesh. The yellow from the stitching or the on her shirt, the Robin, none of the yellow touching the black or the yellow touching the red. Looks really amazing. The same thing with Batman and his portrait. The way that it's sculpted, painted, I don't see any flaws whatsoever, guys. The belt has some really cool shading on his belt there, his utility belt. You know, that looks really awesome. Nice paint and shading on that. None of the paint touching any of the body. Looks fantastic. The same thing with her hair. There's some shading and coloring in her hair that gives it these two tones of color, which is pretty awesome as well. And then when it comes to her cape, There are some yellowish, brownish tones in that too that looks really freaking awesome. Now overall, I really like the piece a lot. I did say that I was going to go back to something that I wasn't digging that much, and that is when you're putting it together, you don't get any satisfying clicks that you know you did something right. In fact, this guy, Batman, wobbles. But yet, this pole or metal rod is way in there. So I'm pretty confident it's secure, but I still don't like the fact that it moves. Statue collectors like things that move are bad. And this one moves a little bit, but not as bad, but it moves too. Again, stuck all the way in there, and I was so freaking nervous. So I would say be careful, because I was nervous that when I was putting these pegs into their bodies, their legs is where it attaches to, man, it didn't go in very easy. And I was scared I was going to snap something, chip something, because their bodies are actually sculpted resin, they'll break. And that was a concern of mine. But it didn't happen, very happy. And I tried to take the pole back out. It's kind of hard to do as well. So it's kind of nerve-wracking that it's like that. Otherwise, that was my only gripe, about it. I love it. Other than that, it's just a great piece. Batman fans, you'll love it. Those who are not that big of, Batman fans, you don't have anything in your collection that represents Batman. 30 years ago, this was a really hot story. It is still one of the classics from Frank Miller. Check it out, man. It's really cool. And that will conclude my review of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, and this really amazing piece that just walked off of the pages of the comic book. So until next time, my friends, peace.